The Hidden Wounds, 8 Habits of Adults Who Grew Up Feeling Unloved and How to Heal. The first few years of a person's life are formative, shaping their emotional landscape for years to come. For children who grow up without the love, validation, and care they need, the impact is profound and long-lasting. As these children become adults, the emotional scars from childhood neglect can affect how they form relationships, view themselves, and navigate the world around them. If you've ever wondered why some adults struggle to connect emotionally or have difficulty accepting love, the answer may lie in their early experiences of not feeling loved. While the impact of an unloved childhood isn't always immediately visible, certain behaviors and patterns often emerge as a result of these early struggles. Let's dive deeper into 8 common habits exhibited by adults who rarely felt loved as children, exploring how these behaviors manifest in their adult lives and how they can begin the healing journey. 1. Difficulty accepting love and affection from others. Imagine a child whose love is conditional, fleeting, or absent altogether. They grow up unsure of what love really feels like. The confusion around receiving affection can follow them into adulthood. People who didn't experience consistent love in childhood may push away affection, even from those who are genuinely trying to love them. They might interpret kindness or intimacy with suspicion or fear. Expanded insight. This difficulty often stems from an internalized belief that love is not guaranteed, or that they're not deserving of it. This belief can result in a cycle of rejecting love, either consciously or unconsciously. Adults who struggle with this often find it difficult to receive praise, compliments, or even a simple act of kindness without feeling uncomfortable or undeserving. The emotional defense mechanisms that were put in place as a child to protect themselves from further emotional pain can become ingrained over time. For example, they might brush off compliments or avoid deep emotional connections altogether. While this may seem like a protective barrier, it actually keeps them isolated and disconnected from others. Healing strategy. To heal, these individuals must learn that love is unconditional and that they are inherently deserving of it. This begins by allowing themselves to feel vulnerable in relationships and learning how to receive affection without feeling uncomfortable. Therapy and support from loved ones who respect their boundaries can play a vital role in dismantling these old patterns. 2. Constant need for approval and validation. When children aren't nurtured emotionally, they often internalize a sense of inadequacy or unworthiness. They grow up feeling as though they must earn love or validation by pleasing others. As adults, this manifests as an overwhelming need for approval. They might go out of their way to please others, even at the expense of their own needs or values. Expanded insight. Adults who experienced emotional neglect as children may feel like they never earned love, and thus they constantly seek it from external sources. This can result in an intense desire for praise, whether it's from friends, family, or colleagues. They often struggle to say no, fearing rejection or disapproval. Over time, this need for external validation becomes exhausting, as it's impossible to meet everyone's expectations. This constant pursuit of approval can even extend into professional settings, where these individuals overwork or sacrifice their own well-being to gain the approval of bosses or peers. They may not recognize the toll this takes on their mental health until burnout sets in. Healing strategy. Building self-acceptance is essential. Therapy can help individuals recognize their inherent worth, independent of external validation. Practicing self-compassion, setting boundaries, and learning to appreciate themselves for who they are rather than what they do are crucial steps in overcoming the need for constant approval. 3. Emotional withdrawal during stressful situations. For children raised in an emotionally neglectful environment, their needs often went unnoticed. As a result, they learn to deal with emotional distress alone, withdrawing into themselves as a coping mechanism. As adults, this behavior is carried over, and when faced with stress, they may shut down emotionally, retreating inward rather than seeking support. Expanded insight. This emotional withdrawal often stems from the belief that no one will be there to support them, so it's safer to handle things alone. These individuals might struggle with feelings of isolation, even when surrounded by people who care. Their natural instinct in times of emotional turmoil is to push others away or keep their feelings bottled up, which can lead to misunderstandings in relationships. This pattern also prevents them from developing healthy coping strategies in adulthood. Instead of seeking help when needed, they may isolate themselves, which only amplifies feelings of loneliness and emotional exhaustion. Healing strategy. Learning to trust others and allowing themselves to be vulnerable in times of crisis is key to breaking this pattern. Creating a strong support network of friends, family, or professionals who can offer understanding and care is vital for relearning how to cope with stress in a healthy way. 4. Difficulty trusting others. Trust is often the hardest thing for adults who were neglected as children to rebuild. If emotional needs were never met in childhood, these adults grow up believing that others are unreliable and that they will eventually be abandoned. This fear can severely affect their relationships, as they may anticipate betrayal or rejection even when it hasn't occurred. Expanded insight. The lack of trust stems from the pain of abandonment or neglect. Children who don't experience secure attachments during early development may develop an anxious attachment style, always expecting that the people in their lives will let them down. As adults, this manifests as a constant need for reassurance, jealousy, or controlling behaviors in relationships. This deep-seated mistrust can cause difficulties in both romantic and platonic relationships. Individuals may struggle to let their guard down, and as a result, they may push others away or keep their relationships shallow to avoid the pain of betrayal. Healing strategy. Rebuilding trust requires both time and patience. Therapy can help these individuals address the root causes of their mistrust and work toward developing more secure attachments. Gradually opening up to others, setting small, achievable goals for trust building, and practicing patience with oneself can help in healing these wounds. 5. Low self-esteem and self-worth. When a child doesn't feel loved, they often internalize the idea that they're unworthy of love. This negative self-belief can follow them into adulthood, where they might struggle with feelings of inadequacy. No matter what accomplishments they achieve, they may never feel like they're good enough to receive love or respect. Expanded insight. Low self-esteem is one of the most damaging results of emotional neglect. These individuals often feel like they're flawed or deficient, even if they're high-achieving or successful. This sense of inadequacy can lead to perfectionism, fear of failure, or a constant comparison to others. These feelings of worthlessness may manifest in a reluctance to speak up for themselves, settle for unhealthy relationships, or avoid pursuing their goals due to fear of rejection. Healing strategy. Building self-esteem starts with challenging negative self-talk. Through therapy and self-reflection, individuals can begin to reframe their thoughts and embrace their worthiness. Practicing gratitude, surrounding themselves with positive influences, and focusing on their strengths can also boost self-esteem over time. 6. Perfectionism or overachieving to earn love. Children who feel neglected often try to earn their parents' love by achieving perfection. As adults, this desire to prove their worth can turn into an overwhelming need to be perfect, both personally and professionally. Perfectionism can become a form of self-protection, as these individuals believe that only through flawlessness will they gain the love or approval they crave. Expanded insight. Perfectionism is not just about achieving high standards. It's about controlling how others perceive them. These individuals often live in fear of being seen as less than perfect, as it would confirm their childhood belief that they weren't enough. Over time, this need to achieve perfection can lead to burnout, stress, and a deep sense of frustration when things inevitably go wrong. Healing strategy. Embracing imperfection and accepting that mistakes are part of being human is critical to breaking free from perfectionism. Learning to celebrate achievements, no matter how small, and focusing on progress rather than perfection can lead to greater peace of mind. 7. Emotional repression and difficulty expressing feelings. Adults who grew up without emotional support may not have learned how to express their feelings in healthy ways. As children, their emotions were either ignored or invalidated, leading them to suppress their feelings. As adults, this emotional repression can create barriers in relationships, causing misunderstandings or conflicts. Expanded insight. Emotional repression often results in emotional numbness or difficulty identifying and expressing emotions. These adults might appear emotionally distant or cold, even if they care deeply about others. This inability to express emotions can also lead to anxiety, depression, or anger that is never fully addressed. Healing strategy. Expressing emotions in a safe and supportive environment is key to healing. Journaling, creative expression, and therapy can help these individuals start processing and expressing their emotions in a healthier way. 8. Over caregiving or people-pleasing. Some adults who didn't receive enough love or care as children overcompensate by being overly caring or people-pleasing in adulthood. They may put others' needs above their own, believing that this is the only way to feel valued or loved. Unfortunately, this can lead to resentment, burnout, and an inability to establish healthy boundaries. Expanded insight. People-pleasing is a way of trying to earn love or acceptance. These individuals often neglect their own needs, feelings, and desires in an attempt to make others happy. While their intentions may be good, this pattern can result in a deep sense of dissatisfaction and burnout. Healing strategy. Setting healthy boundaries and learning to prioritize self-care is essential for breaking this cycle. Therapy can help individuals build confidence in their worth and teach them that love and respect should be mutual, not earned through constant self-sacrifice. Conclusion. Rewriting the narrative of love and self-worth. The impact of an unloved childhood can be profound, but it doesn't have to define the rest of one's life. While it may take time, these negative patterns can be transformed through self-awareness, therapy, and the support of loving, healthy relationships. By acknowledging the deep-rooted wounds from childhood neglect, individuals can begin to heal and create a life filled with self-love, trust, and emotional fulfillment. Through self-compassion, healing practices, and the courage to face these challenges head-on, it's possible to break free from the cycles of emotional pain. As these individuals learn to accept themselves and open up to the love and care they deserve, they can begin rewriting their narrative, one that is rooted in healing, acceptance, and lasting emotional well-being.